I'm a filmmaker, and haven't really worked much since December. And last year was a very similar year. There was a writer's strike, and it went on for a number of months. And then about in the spring, things picked up, and it turned out to be the best year I've ever had. And this year, nothing's been happening. And so I'm hopeful that this year will turn out to be the even more best year that I've ever had. So in the meantime, my television broke. My Sony TV broke after only 9 years. Very disappointing, because the last one lasted 24 years. And they don't make them like they used to. And so I've discovered that they don't make TVs like they used to, literally, because now they're flat screens, they're not tubes. And so I've been really getting excited about the new technology and what I need to buy and all the accessories and just having so much fun manifesting this TV. And I got the accessories, and then when it came down to the TV, I kind of stopped because I thought, I better wait till I get work. And I was holding on and holding on and holding on. And all of a sudden it occurred to me that if I don't buy this TV, I'm not going to get any work, because I'm holding the abundance away from me. I'm afraid that if I buy it now, I won't have enough money, So I pushed the button on the computer, and I ordered the TV. It's on the way. Big flat screen, going to put it on the wall. So I think I'm being hopeful about getting this work in. I think I'm looking at it the right way, but I need a little help cleaning my vibration up about bringing the abundance in, especially with all the crap on the TV and everything like that. I try to let that go. But I need some help cleaning up my vibration about bringing that abundance that I know I deserve and is coming to me. Can you help me with that?
Well, we can, but we want to ask you, as you were describing last year and this year, you were offering vibration all over the place. In other words, you, for a moment, talked about it being the best year you ever had, and then you talked about how before that it wasn't good, and then you talked about how it was good, but how this year isn't. And then you talked about your television and sort of distracted us all. No one really knew where you were going for a while. And
I'm trying to keep you on your toes.
And then you talked about how you didn't feel you should buy the television. And then you talked about how you realized that might be keeping it away from you. And we just want to point out to you that you're this way and 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 this way. And there isn't anything that we know or that we could convey to you that would make you know something more than you know. But the emphasis that we want to help you decide is that you're just going to be more this way, more what I do want, more what I do want, more what did work, what is working, and less of the other. In other words, it really is as simple as, now think about this.
Yeah.
When we say to you, you don't have to control the television industry. You don't even have to control whether there's a writer's strike or not. You don't have to control how much money is being put into television. You don't have to control how many people are watching television. You don't have to control any of that, because there's enough in the vortex that will always be working for you. So think, since you don't have to control the industry or the economy or anything, you have a lot more time to put toward what you can control. And what you can control is the direction of the story you tell.
Right.
So we would like you, rather than being this objective person that's wanting to give us all a full view of where you are in order to explain your starting point, we want you to sort of assume a starting point inside the vortex, and we would like you to come to the chair again. You don't have to leave, but begin again, and tell us the half of the story that helps you, and leave out the half of the story that doesn't help you. Okay. We want a redo on your story. So I am a television producer. Start there.
I'm a film and TV editor, and it's a wonderful creative job. I had a wonderful year last year, best I've ever had, and I had a lot of fun.
Now, when you say, I had a wonderful year last year, best I ever had, even though the words sound good, you're poking at something with a stick that is activating a vibration within you that is activating the other end of the stick, even though you don't mean to. So the whole point of the story that you tell is not to inform or to amuse. The point of the story you tell is to affect the way you feel. Right. In other words, the assignment we are giving you is all stories, as best you can, are told from this point forward for the purpose of getting inside the vortex. That's the sole reason that you are ever going to communicate anything again relative to your work. I only talk for the purpose of not for the purpose of trumping up business, not for the purpose of getting a job, not for the purpose of conveying anything,
better.
Only for the purpose of getting myself inside the vortex. It's the only reason that I ever speak, especially about this. So, another redo.
I have so much fun.
Now, sounds good, and we believe it, but we just wanted to stick something else in here.
Okay.
You know, earlier when we were talking about that merry-go-round on the playground and how if you try to jump in too fast, it knocks you off in the bushes.
The focus wheel, sure.
So it's possible that by us instructing you to tell us an inside the vortex story, that even though you're trying, the vortex is just knocking you back off in the bushes because you're not up to speed with it. And so it's all right if the story you tell is for the purpose of improving the way you feel. And it's really not fair or accurate for someone else like us to criticize where you are. We just want you to know we're in the vortex where everything you want is, and we can feel if the story that you're telling is moving you toward or away from. We're not trying to hold your feet to the fire and say be in the vortex. We just want you to be moving more toward it than away from it. So that's what we're listening for with the stories that you are telling us. So this is the most loving, helpful thing that we could ever do for you. We're standing here listening to your story and pointing out to you the direction of it. And once you get a whiff of this, then you'll never tell the stories that move you in opposite direction again.
I'm looking forward to that.
All right. Let's hear it.
Oh boy, pressure's on.
Oh, all right. Now, oh boy, pressure's on. That was. So how might you say that? How might you say this? Isn't it nice that I get to sit in the company of someone inside my vortex who can hear when I'm approaching the vicinity of it? And if you want to call that pressure, we would call it the opportunity of a lifetime.
Yeah.
So let's hear it.
I marvel at the creative people I get to work with.
That was perfect. It didn't throw you off in the bushes. You do. Yep. You feel it exactly.
I love getting a job that expands the way I think.
Poked at that one a little bit with a stick, so clean it up. In other words, it leaned a little outside. Add to it and make it.
You mean the unspoken part was sometimes I get to do crap jobs too?
Maybe. Stop it. But clean it up. Clean it up even as you're speaking it. I love the creative work. I love how it flows through me, and I love the creative genius that is available to me that I get to co-create with. Now, we can feel that. You're right there. What else?
I love the way people respond when something really amazing happens in the editing room, and they love it, and then I love it, and then I get to work even better because it all rolls together in a big snowball. I love the benefits of doing it because even when I'm not working, then I get to play and relax and take the money I earn and buy TV sets. And
surprisingly, that's all clean energy right there. In other words, everything about that.
I had a great time with the TV.
You see, this little bit of conversation, you go easily there, but you go easily the other way too. And so it's just a conscious awareness. We're not kidding you. All you have to do is just frame this story with a little bit more deliberate intent, and the story itself will begin to gain momentum. Yeah. And every time you find yourself feeling a little worried, sit down and do a focus wheel until the worry subsides. And then if worry comes up again, do a focus wheel till the worry subsides, until you have trained the worry away. You've trained away the vibration and then in the absence of that, you'll be swept right in. And again, you'll have another incredible year. It's just the way it works.
Right. I'm not resonating with the focus wheel as the process I want to use. Is there another one you can offer?
Well, the reason that we like the focus wheel is because it helps you, because it tells you that by focusing you can shift the way you feel, and you can actually feel it happen. Tell us your story again.
I'm excited about what's coming toward me, about the creativity that I'm going to get to put in this job.
Now, we hear that, but we don't believe it. In other words, did you? In other words, they are words that need to be practiced more often, or it's too big of a step. So now take it to a place that you already believe it and start there. That's the value of the focus wheel, is it helps you recognize that it's okay to slow down and get on.
All right, I'm going to slow down. I miss doing it. and I'm looking forward to doing it again.
All right. Now, where's that? I miss doing it is really off the wheel.
Maybe it is, but I have a good time, and I miss doing it. I can't wait to do it again.
Keep going.
I can't wait to do it again. I love getting behind that computer and putting the shots together and telling a great story.
All right, it's shoring up. You can feel it.
Yeah.
So keep talking.
I love getting to work with the creative people around me.
You see, the thing that, and if you don't like the focus wheel, it's all right. But the reason we're doing a sales job on it is because, so as you say, I miss doing that, and then we say, well, that's really sort of off the wheel, and then you say, no, I'm serious. I really, really like doing it. I like to do it. So now you're on the wheel. So now you're making statements about the creative process is fun, and it's nice to work with others, and the collaboration in and of itself is really co-creating its best, and you like how the universe is assembled cooperative people, and some of them are so good, and you learn from them and they learn from you. But even more fun is when something new erupts that neither of you or none of you have done before, and so it's a sort of a new approach to it, and you can feel it, and you feel not only the fun of the new discovery but the benefit of what it brings about. So we're rolling along really well, and then something happens that makes you realize that you really do miss it. In other words, right in the middle of the focus wheel, you realize that you don't have anything lined up just like that, and the thought wafts through your mind that those kind of collaborations are sometimes few and far between, and you feel just a little, and so now another focus wheel literally squirted itself out, and this focus wheel is even more refined. What's bothering you about it is the feeling that in this economy or in these slower times that these really good opportunities are fewer rather than more plentiful. So now you have another more distinct focus wheel. So now you want to talk your way on to the focus wheel relative to that newfound subject. So you say something like, well, I have had many occasions when I was working when others weren't. And so I know that it doesn't matter how much work is out there. I can always get the work I want when it's the right work. So just with that one statement, you've cleaned up that little piece that reared its ugly head while you were working on that other focus wheel. You see what we're getting at? So then let's say, so you do the focus wheel and you actually get inside the vortex and you're feeling good about it for an hour or two, and then you get bored or you get restless or you realize that you don't have as much money. Something in your life gives you evidence that you don't have what you want, and so now it's time for another focus wheel. What we're saying to you is this is not something where you can come and visit with us and we can clean it up and it will stay cleaned up. This is an ongoing get inside the vortex. Challenge is the wrong word because...
No, I understand. It's a moment-to-moment connection.
It's a moment-to-moment determination to have connection is what it is. It's making the connection, it's making being in the vortex more important than having the job. That's really what it comes down to. It's making the vortex matter more than the job. And when the vortex matters more than the job, you've got control over whether you're in the vortex or not, while you don't have control over whether you go to work today. You can't just show up somewhere and say, I've decided I want to work today. You don't have that kind of control. Right. But you do have control over the vortex, over your relationship with it. And when you exercise that, then what happens is you just feel better anyway, feel better anyway, feel better anyway. And it would take you 2 or 3 days of feeling mostly better anyway, and something would pop for you. That's how close it all is. We are fine-tuning with you, but there is unquestioningly a vibration within you that stays active enough that it slows it down. So what happens for you, and this is true for a lot of people, sure. As long as you've got this sloppy thinking going on, and it's all right because there's lots of things to think about. As long as you've got this sloppy thinking going on, what happens is you keep vibrations active that keep you apart from what you're asking for. And so the more poignantly you ask, and then the more you continue that same kind of thinking, then the more the stress gets on this vibrational relationship, until eventually what happens is your experience becomes acute enough that then you make a stronger determination, and then you focus, and then you make it happen. But it's hard. It's like deprive until I can't stand the deprivation anymore. And then I focus, and I allow it. But oh man, is that a rough roller coaster kind of life?
Yeah, that's the cleaning up I want to work on.
So that's why we're giving it to you. And so we gave you the best process on the universe to get in the vortex, and you said, I don't really resonate with that process.